Welcome to our next session on research methodology. In the previous discussions, I have introduced you to some basic concepts of research. I also talked about major sources of knowledge and various types of research. Today, I'll be looking at a very important topic, and I believe all of you will be following it very attentively so as to develop sound and mature understanding of the contents. So the topic for today's discussion is crafting a research topic. See, when you start your research project, this is in terms of practically doing something, the first step in your research. You're asked by your examiner to bring a topic on which you want to conduct your research work. First of all, let's talk about the very title itself. Here I have used the word crafting deliberately instead of choosing a word like selecting a research topic, finding a research topic, or any other words which are usually found in research textbooks. And I did it intentionally to signify something important to you. See, craft suggests requirement of skill and effort. So by using this phrase, crafting a research topic, I have tried to highlight that a good research topic, a workable, acceptable research topic, is not found ready-made or by chance. You have to work really hard for it. First of all, to find something workable and then refine your ideas through extensive reading and ultimately using your comprehension and writing skills to produce something that is valuable in the world of knowledge and research. So this is the significance of opting to use craft instead of find or select. In this long discussion, I'll be looking at these major points: how to identify a general subject area, what are different sources of topics that you can use whenever you have to find a topic, and then how to narrow down a broad topic that you start with. And I'll be talking in detail about all these points. So if you are confused about anything, just stay with me. Fourth, qualifications of a good topic. How you will be able to differentiate and decide on your own what a good topic looks like. And good topic obviously means a topic that will be in all probability approved and accepted by your supervisor, and then you will be allowed to start your research. And finally, I'll be talking about how to phrase your qualitative research topics. So I'll provide you guidance on all these points, and these are very important aspects of your initial stages of research. Most of the time, if the student, the beginner researcher, is not familiar with these details, they are either confused or at least they expect some outside help to guide them or probably provide them a ready-made workable topic. And in most of the cases, this is just a manifestation of stupidity. As a researcher, finding a good topic and taking a start is your duty. Your supervisor will only be guiding you about the technicalities, formalities, and different aspects of your research. He cannot be expected to somehow allow you to take his finger and move ahead step by step. So at this point, when you start your research, you must have substantial knowledge of different aspects of research, and you must have done some good reading. And after that, if you have mature understanding and good writing skills, I believe this is what is needed for a good research. So first of all, I'll be elaborating on the very first point I have mentioned, identification of a general subject area. So the first point that you need to understand here is what is a research topic, and it is also called the research problem or the research purpose. So we use these different phrases synonymously. You do not need to confuse yourself about any of these. They are similar in meaning to each other. In simple words, a research topic is any issue that is in need of investigation to establish a reasoned viewpoint. Now, if you try to understand this definition, it will help you develop good sense of what kind of topic you should be submitting for your research. Any issue in need of investigation. It means the topics which are already worked upon and there is already sufficient research available on them, they should not be selected for your research. Sometimes it so happens that since the students do not read extensively and they do not spare time for going through different things, they come up with those topics which are already in circulation, which are already extensively researched by the previous researchers. So you should find something that needs to be further studied to establish a reasoned viewpoint. And if you have gone through my introduction of research, I have tried to emphasize the fact that research is not based on your assumptions or opinions without evidence. Since research is done after the scientific method, following the scientific method, it means It should be grounded in concrete, logical, and reasoned evidence. It should be convincing for other people too. So this is simply what a good research topic should be like. Now, the second point is, first of all, what you need to do is find a problem, the kind of problem I have discussed, and on the basis of your understanding and knowledge, develop your own viewpoint on that problem, on that research topic. How you interpret things. So this is basically your personal interpretation, certainly based on knowledge, evidence, logic. That becomes the stepping stone, the foundation of your research. If you find a problem but you do not have a mature interpretation to offer, your research cannot start. It's not about simply locating and identifying a research problem. It is at the same time to offer it an interpretation given by the researcher himself. Now, finding a problem and then offering your subjective response is mostly the outcome of reading or your general knowledge. So if you are a good reader and you have studied so many things, you should try to review your prior knowledge, your previous readings, and then try to concentrate on those aspects of your knowledge which you find interesting and you think your interpretation and your explanation is something that will help other people to see the aspect of the topic that has already been ignored and overlooked by others. So remember that good research is always grounded in good reading. So instead of consulting your friends and teachers to give you a ready-made topic, what you need to do is just be confident, be patient, and either revise the things you have already studied, or now is the time to study things and find something on your own. See, if you start this project with this spirit of self-confidence, putting effort to dig in and discover something without others' help, this approach will help you carry out your research project successfully. You will be able to learn things by doing things by yourself. So instead of seeking total assistance from other people or expecting them to become your messiah and savior in this time of crisis and difficulty, what you need to do is remind yourself that now is the time when you can really work hard and refine your potentials. If you do not learn from this research process, this would be a great loss for you all your life, especially in terms of academics. And research is not only confined to writing a few pages, rather it helps you develop a certain independence of mind. It allows you to think on your own and see how justifiable your opinions and ideas are. So this is a journey of maturity and enlightenment, and these are the things that you must target to attain through this project. If you are spending a lot of time on it, you must be able to gain something valuable out of it. So it should be coming from your own reading, your own knowledge, the topic. And the next thing that you must consider while selecting a topic is certain practical considerations. Do not be deceived by your idealism to achieve something absolutely extraordinary. See, if you have studied Milton's Paradise Lost, where in the very beginning of his epic he tries to talk about the great importance and extraordinariness of this project that he has undertaken in this epic. He says something like things unattempted yet in prose or rhyme, that in this epic my central idea around which the epic is crafted and composed is such a big idea that nobody has dared touch it either in prose or poetry, and that is the story of man's fall from grace. So as a beginner researcher, you must not be targeting for such an ambitious achievement. Instead, what you need to do is try to think of your own limitations and be practical. And in terms of limitations, you need to analyze the amount of time that you have to complete this project, because your degree actually gives you limited time period to work on your research project and complete it within the allotted time. Otherwise you will be late in getting your degree. So first thing is to see your research topic in relation to the availability of your time. If you have, let's suppose, 4 months to complete your research project, do not choose a topic that is too broad to be sufficiently and effectively covered in these 4 months. Secondly, also analyze your resources that you have at your disposal. What resources you can use while conducting that research and the topic that you have chosen. Certainly some topics need certain resources which might not be available to you during that time period. For instance, during the time of confinement to your homes, nobody can expect you to visit libraries, go out and interview people and survey different places or supermarkets, depending on the kind of research topic you have chosen. So once you select a topic, now you need to think of the resources which are required, which are to be used in order to work on this topic. So if you think you have all the resources you need for that topic, you are good to go. And thirdly, and very importantly, your own research skills. If you are a beginner researcher, you cannot take a topic that is too ambitious for you, considering your research skills, since you are still a learner and your comprehension, writing skills and then technicalities of research, you do not have a very strong command on any of these. So choose a topic that can be worked upon and completed with the kind of research skills you have. So here the point is, selection of topic should be determined with reference to the availability of time, resources and also in consideration with your own research skills. If you overlook or undermine any of these three limitations, things might go very difficult for you during the research project, and then obviously it will be your own fault, not your supervisors nor the universities. In that case, if you are stuck, if your research is exceeding the time limit, or you do not have the required resources, or your research skills prove to be too inadequate to justify the topic, you can see for yourself that this research will not be completed, and either you will have to dedicate more time to it, to somehow manage your resources and then complete it a little late. But ideally these things are certainly not advisable for any student who is actually doing his degree and certainly wants to complete it within the given time limit. Alright, so these were a few basic things about selection of your research topic. Now next I'll be talking about how to identify a general subject area. See, while choosing a topic, and actually I have organized this discussion in a chronological order. If you follow these steps one by one in exactly the order in which they are mentioned here and discussed by me, you will be able to move ahead gradually and smoothly. So first of all, in order to find a topic, you need to decide on a general subject area of your interest. And people have their own personal likes and dislikes of things. So one student might be interested in poetry, another in prose, yet another in drama, which means you should choose according to your own personal preferences. So these are the things you must consider while making a choice: your own area of interest, expertise, and experience of the field. Now, if you look at the very first aspect, researchers' personal interest, it is necessary to bear that in mind, because once you conduct your research on this topic, you're obviously going to spend substantial amount of time on it, and this subject or this topic or this genre is very likely going to become your area of specialization, something that you excel in, something that you have substantial knowledge about, you have command over it. So it is a long time, or in some cases a lifelong subject of interest and expertise. You have to mention it on your CV, resume, or in your interviews, the specific area that is your major, that is your area of research and expertise. So you should be choosing something that is of importance to you and which you can own willingly and happily. You should be excited to mention that you have conducted research in that particular genre or subject area. Secondly, by interest, I mean sustained interest. See, if you choose a topic just for the sake of meeting the formality, or in some cases a topic that is suggested by your classmate, your friend, even your supervisor, but it does not interest you, what is going to happen is you will lose interest, and this is going to make things difficult for you. You will be spending a handsome amount of time on your research, and let's suppose it is something that is chosen by you half-heartedly, just in order to work on it and get things done and complete your degree. This is what you thought initially, but when you start researching it, you do not find it exciting and interesting enough to capture your interest and maintain your interest level for a long time. So you will be bored in it, and you might not be able to continue with the same topic and hence waste your time. So this sustained interest is compulsory for your research. Otherwise, things might go out of hand, or they might turn out to be more difficult than you have imagined in the beginning. See, once you've completed your research project, in some cases, if you want to become an academic, a lecturer, an educator, it means you will be expected to teach that subject, talk about it, probably throughout your life, because in universities, nationally and internationally, now we have scholars who specialize in a very particular subject, genre, and they are given courses and classes accordingly. So your research topic should be something that interests you and that you think you will be able to study not only for the completion of this research, but also you should have interest in it to study it for years to come. And the second aspect I have mentioned is expertise and experience. Here I'll be explaining what I mean by it. Now, by expertise and experience, I do not mean that you should be all knowing about this topic that you have chosen. But what I actually want to indicate is sufficient knowledge of or familiarity with this area of study. It should not be ideally something that is alien to you, something that you have just discovered and it has excited you and you want to conduct research in that topic, in that area. I mean, even in that case, you should be willing to spend some time developing familiarity with the area and genre and the subject in order to collect good amount of knowledge to make you comfortable about it. You should have good information, rather sound understanding of what this topic or subject or genre is all about. You should know its basics at least. If it is something that is unknown to you, that you have no clue about, and the topic is, let's imagine, suggested by your friend or colleague or somebody, and you have opted for it, obviously this will not be a wise choice. Now, when I say expertise is required, I have a logic behind it, and let me explain why I emphasize having some level of expertise and some experience in the area of study that you choose for your research. If you look at research a bit closely, you will realize that research is a detailed, insightful reading. It's not about saying something superficial, something commonsensical, something that is too ordinary and mundane. Rather, it is an organized project in which you have to create ideas for others, for your readers, for academia, the world of knowledge and learning. So it means This creation of ideas cannot come from an infant. And by infant I mean a person who is totally unfamiliar with this area of study. He cannot be expected to accomplish this task very easily. Yes, probably miraculously, but practically this cannot happen. This does not happen in real life. Second, research is an organized formal project. There are certain formalities, rules, technicalities that you should be familiar with. You should have sufficient knowledge about in order to conduct research itself. And then your knowledge of the field and the genre is also required. So these three things actually overlap. For an example, if you examine yourself as a student studying this subject of research methodology, you are studying all these things to achieve exactly the same points I have just explained here. Finally, you are going to write a long, formal, organized research work, and this coursework is actually to provide you all the tools which are required to perform effectively during your project that is to come very soon. So even for the sake of conducting research itself, you must have the background knowledge, the basic ideas about research, familiarity with its different aspects, its principles and technicalities, so that when you start doing your research, you should be following those formalities and technicalities, and your research project is accepted and approved. If you are not familiar with these technicalities, obviously your supervisor is going to place objections to your document that you will submit in the form of your research work, and he'll be advising you to go back, reread your research ideas and then write accordingly. See, these technicalities, formalities, rules, principles that we study in research methodology are important for you. Without these, you cannot expect yourself to complete your research project. They are a must for you. And similarly, when you are choosing a topic, you must choose an area of study with which you are fairly comfortable. You have some knowledge about it that is going to facilitate you along the way of research. Secondly, you must also see the availability of the required material or data. When you choose a topic, you read around it, and this reading helps you see what kind of data or information will be required for this research project. So if you determine, if you can see that this data, this information will be easily available, you should be able to access it with ease or with some difficulty, because nothing is perfectly easy. There are certain hindrances and problems that you have to face. There are certain difficulties that you will experience down the path of research. But the data and information required for this project should be available out there in society. And then your guide's area of specialization or interest also matters. By guide here I mean your supervisor, the person who is going to offer you guidance on research, who is going to supervise your research work and offer you advice on the basis of his own knowledge and experience in the field. So sometimes it so happens that you choose your research topic in accordance with the area of specialization or interest of your supervisor, and sometimes they actually dictate you to work on a certain topic. Most of the time the researchers are given free hand to choose a topic of their own interest and then work on it in coordination with the supervisor. But sometimes if the supervisor is, let's say, adamant, or he strictly asks you to find a topic that relates to his area of specialization, you will have to comply with his restriction, with his orders. And in case as a researcher you are not comfortable with that, obviously there is an option to apply to the department to change your supervisor. But this is something that mostly does not cause problem for students. In order to conclude this brief discussion on finding and crafting your research topic, I want to give you a few helpful prompts just to give you an idea how you can actually review and revise the things which you have already studied and find a topic that is workable. It happens a lot of times that when you are asked to bring a research topic, you find yourself blank. You feel as if you know nothing about this world, and this is something that is simply beyond your approach and grasp. You will not be able to manage it. Probably something too extraordinary is being required of you. But if you calm down, relax, allow your brain to work easily and with concentration. See, this is the kind of activity we conduct with our students, and that is called brainstorming. When you have to write on a topic, you just relax and think about as many things as come to your mind related to that topic, and you simply jot them down one by one. And then after you think you're satisfied, you're done, now you see the relevance of these ideas to the topic, and then you organize them and then you elaborate them. So this is a kind of self-writing activity that is usually conducted in classrooms when the students are learning to write a critical response to a certain topic, or when they are asked to write an essay on a certain topic. So these prompts will help you review your already existing knowledge and then decide how much you already know, and you sift through that knowledge that you possess and locate certain topics of interest and conduct your research. For instance, you should think, what did you enjoy doing What did you find interesting during your student days? What did you find difficult? What did you dislike studying? What study related problems did your fellow students experience during their studies? And then what topics or issues might be particularly relevant to your future career? So if you think about these a few aspects, you will be able to identify many things which you have enjoyed doing or reading, which you find interesting or which you find difficult. Now you need to gradually narrow your focus and come up with a specific workable aspect of a bigger topic and then select it for your research. So this was just to guide you about how to get started with your research. I hope the few points I have discussed with relevance to crafting a research topic will be helpful for you. I'll be looking forward to your feedback, and I believe all of you are working very hard on your studies, especially research methodology, because it is a technical and theoretical subject, and also considering the fact that we are for the time being conducting this distance learning that has its own communication problems, but I hope you will be able to develop good understanding of these different aspects of research. See you in the next class. Thank you.